In a market where so many defensive stocks have been left by the wayside, think pharma, the consumer product plays, every now and then you'll find a company with a great team and a great manager that's able to break the mold. Take Johnson & Johnson, the phenomenal drug/consumer products/medical device company with a stock that's up nearly 22% for the year. And I think a lot of it comes down to the leadership of this man, Alex Gorsky. He's a former U.S. Army captain and the chairman and CEO of J&J, who's back at his alma mater today. We also want to give special attention to an amazing new public service announcement in support of veterans. Mr. Gorsky, welcome to the special Veterans Day edition of Mad Money.
Hey, Jim. It's
Good
great
to see
be
you, Alex.
here.
How are you? Good to see you.
Great to be here.
So,
How about that, huh?
you're here, you're back.
Is that incredible or what, Jim?
Can you give us some of the lessons in leadership that you learned here?
Well, first of all, it's just awesome to be here. I mean, the history of West Point, when you think about it, the leaders that have come out of here, Eisenhower, MacArthur, Schwarzkopf, and then you look at the young men and women who are out here today, it does not get much better than that. I'm so, proud to be here back at my alma mater. But as you just said, look, at the end, it's all about leadership. And the important leadership lessons that you learn here. How do you do something that's bigger than yourself? How do you be part of a team so that you get everybody diverse from different backgrounds, all behind a common mission and work together? And frankly, how do you have an attitude where no matter how high that wall, no matter how thick, you're going to figure out a way to get the mission done? That's what they represent, and that's what this place is all about.
And you have made a commitment to hire vets, and it has worked out, this commitment, for J&J, for the vets, for the good of the institution.
Absolutely. Look, we are incredibly proud of the veterans that we hire. I mean, people like Courtney Billington, who's right over there, class of 1987, West Point. Courtney graduated from here, and now he's running one of the largest, most complex supply chains in the world. He's just taken leadership from one area, bring it to another. Maureen Allison, first class of women at West Point back in 1980. She now runs cybersecurity for Johnson & Johnson. So, yes, it's about serving your country, having leadership in the Army, the Navy, in other areas, but then it's also about how do you give back to your country in other ways, like working for big businesses like Johnson & Johnson.
At the same time, Alex, we can't leave anyone behind, the motto of the institution. And what I am hearing there are disturbing things, a rate of suicide that I know you're trying to bring down personally, trying to be able to deal with issues of debilitating issues that we can't sweep under the rug.
Absolutely, Jim. Look, we owe the men and women in this country who have served over the last year, the millions who have served, who really protect us, keep us safe, such a deep debt. I mean, that's the reason we're able to do shows like this. That's why we're able to do businesses. And the good news is, over the last few years, even that whole theme of, make sure you say thank you for your service, I think that's a great gesture. It's awesome to do, but it's not enough.
Okay.
Because behind every man and woman who has served, unfortunately, there's some today. In fact, we're losing about 20 a day to suicide, and who are still suffering from a lot of serious mental conditions, and we cannot leave them behind. So, working with the VA, with Secretary Shulkin, we at Johnson & Johnson teamed up, and we said, look, what can we do? Because the VA has had a lot of great programs, and we got to make sure these people know where and how to get help. We've got to make sure they know how to reach out to the VA, to other veteran service organizations. And frankly, sometimes all it takes is a friend to make a call, to connect, to reach out. So we got to get communities, cities, churches, everybody working together, because they deserve our best. And that's really what this public service announcement is about.
Now, you mentioned the government. We want that government involved in doing that, but we also see the government getting into the industry, telling you what to do at times. We also have a big tax bill that could help Johnson & Johnson if it's written correctly. What should be the role of government and pharmaceuticals?
Well, look, it takes all of us working together. If we're going to solve issues like healthcare, if we're going to take on issues about how do we grow our economy, how do we create more high-paying jobs, that requires industry and the government working together. So it starts with smart tax policy. How do we make sure that we have competitive tax policy so that companies, frankly, aren't making bad decisions about moving their things around based on tax alone, but it should be based on the strategy. How do we create more jobs? How do we bring some of those great manufacturing jobs, other science, STEM jobs right here in the United States? So it's going to take us all working together.
All right, now, we have to make it clear to everyone here and everyone home, Johnson & Johnson stock has been an unbelievable performer under your tutelage. And what I want to ask you is, many of the drug stocks have stopped going higher. What has happened at J&J in the last year or two that has made it so people see that the growth not only is coming back, but exceeds almost all the companies in the industry?
Well, Jim, it's really about a couple things. It starts with innovation. It starts with great products that fundamentally make a big difference in people's lives. You know, products like Darzalex are taken in, you know, condition like multiple myeloma, and people are now living longer. They actually have a chance. And so that's really what it starts with. And we've had an incredible run of great innovation in oncology, minimally invasive surgery, vision care. Next, and these guys know a lot about it, it's execution. Right. You got to have a very clear plan, make sure you're delivering on that you're crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and I could not be prouder. And finally, it's about great leaders and great people. And I could not be prouder of 145,000 employees at Johnson & Johnson who really bring the Credo value system every day to work to do their very best.
Do you have any advice for the audience about what they should do after service or even in service, because that's where they're headed? Because I think that someone who has done such a great job as you obviously have actual lessons for our crowd here.
Well, I'm loath to give them lessons because the fact that you're here at the Academy already demonstrates that you've had a great start. That you've demonstrated excellence in a lot of different ways. But a couple things is, number one, find something that you love or learn to love what you do, because you're going to do a lot of it. And when you bring passion, when you really enjoy what you're doing, you're going to be better. And your people will know that. And by the way, you're going to be doing this for a long time of your life, and you don't want to waste it doing something that you're really not interested in. The second is, take care of yourself. You know, you've got a great start. You do physical fitness here all the time. And what's key, in addition to your leadership, is making sure that you're healthy, that you're fit, and you need to do that not only in the military, but in a civilian career so that you can be your very best. So you do those things, and you'll go far, and you're going to have a lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Alex Gorsky. He's West Point grad, chairman and CEO of Johnson & Johnson. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks, everybody. All right. Awesome job.
That was great. Yes. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the Jump on My exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.